With food prices increasing, growing at least some of one's own food is an option. The very Jane Griffiths of Jane's Delicious Garden shared some urban food gardening tips with Joburg today. Using permaculture principles, Jane turned her piece of Johannesburg into an urban Eden. The first step in growing your own edible plants is finding a sunny spot.
If you're growing leafy greens, plants with big leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, you can get away with about 4 or 5 hours of sunlight. But if you're wanting to grow things like tomatoes, eggplants, chilies, all of those, they need far more. They need at least 7 hours of sunshine a day.
After you found a spot in your garden, I guess the second most important thing is to have fertile soil. How do you do that?
Healthy soil equals healthy plants equals healthy people. So healthy soil is a soil that is full of humus. Now humus is all that broken down matter after the earthworms and all the other beneficial microorganisms have been ingesting it. They leave that a fine black tilth. That humus that is left behind is very important for lots of reasons. Number one, it retains moisture. The more humus you have, the more nutrients you have. Nutrients hook onto it. So you have rich, fertile soil.
Jane believes in no-dig gardening. Adding mulch also helps generating and maintaining healthy soil.
Mulching is simply adding organic matter to the surface of the soil. Things like dried up leaves, you can add compost, and it is one of the most simple things that you can do in an organic vegetable garden, but it is one of the most beneficial things that you can do in a garden.
Good. Some mulch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the trick with mulch is we don't want to cover up the seedlings. You can also use compost as a mulch.
Okay.
We've got this is really nice compost here. You can see how nice this is. It's lovely there. You can see some earthworms in there. You can see here, this is a crumbly soil. This was once all kitchen waste, and it's amazing to think that something that would have been thrown out has literally been turned into black gold, because that's what composting does. It turns kitchen waste into black gold for your soil. You know, a lot of people say, I don't have time to grow vegetables. When you're doing it this way, really, one of the most time-consuming things in a veggie garden is weeding. By mulching, you don't have to weed.
Jane says by planting a mixture of plants and allowing some to go to seed, one starts working with nature, creating a self-sustaining garden. Now it's time to plant food for ourselves. How does one do that?
I plant intensively. If we have a look behind us here, the idea is that when everything grows to full size, all the leaves just touch one another, and that creates a living umbrella that protects the soil down at the bottom. Again, crowding out weeds. The weeds need sun down the bottom there to be able to germinate and grow. Secondly, by doing this, by creating that natural living umbrella, you are conserving moisture. And again, all of these things save time. And the plants benefit from it. You can see in here as well, I've got not just one thing growing in here. I've got Swiss chard, I've got eggplants, they're beans, plus a whole lot of companion plants, all growing in one bed together. And that's some food for thought for your veggie gardens, Johannesburgers. And I will pick some basil for my dinner tonight. Marisa de Klerk, Joburg today.